Hi, this is Carl Alvarez from the Inside Metal movie documentary series that Bob directed and Joe Floyd and I produced and Warren Coyle executive produced. So when we were doing the movie, one of the things we wanted to do is a special devotion to all the people who have passed on. This is something we all love the idea, but considering time constraints, we couldn't get it done in time to turn into the movie. So we shelved it. But since Bob has passed, I wanted to resurrect the idea and do a special dedication to Bob. So, Bob arrives in heaven, and heaven is the Sunset Strip. And the entrance to heaven is the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and that's the entrance to heaven. Bob walks up, and the first person he sees is Mike Henry, his old friend from August Red Moon in Eden. He's checking IDs at the door. Bob, people have been waiting for you. This is a big party going just for you inside, so come on in. So Bob walks in. First person he sees is Mario Magdaleri from the Rainbow. Elmer Valentine, co-owner of the Roxy and the Whiskey. Bill Gazzari, Kim Fowley, and we have Sandy West, the drummer of the Runaways. She's the hostess for Bob of the night, and she's gonna escort Bob in wherever Bob wants to sit, or Bob wants to wander around. It's Bob's night. He can do whatever he wants. So, if you ever been to the Rainbow, it's a big U-shaped, and there's the booths that are there, and this U-shaped, and there's quite a few people that are seated. Now, the first booth, we got Steve Gaines and Ronnie Van Zant from Lynyrd Skynyrd, Leslie West from Mountain, Ken Hensley from Uriah Heep, and we also have Dusty Hill from ZZ Top. The next booth, Rory Gallagher, Mick Ronson from David Bowie's band, Tommy Bolin from Deep Purple, and Mark Bolin from T-Rex, Paul Kozoff from Free, and Steve Marriott from Humble Pie. The far booth, the back booth, Eddie Van Halen, Ronnie Montrose, Randy Rhoads, Gary Moore, and Bernie Tormé. On the right side of the room, in the back booth, we got Martin Hooker from the Great Music for Nations label, Bob Nalbandian from Kick-Ass Monthly fanzine, Malcolm Dome from Kerrang! Magazine, John and Marcia Zazula from Megaforce Records. Now the next booth's over. We got two booths, all drummers. The first booth we have AJ Pirro, Twisted Sister, Munetaka Higuchi from Loudness, Randy Castillo from Ozzy's band, Lee Kerslake from the original Blizzard of Oz and Uriah Heep, Cozy Powell, John Bonham. Who else is assembled there? Neil Peart, Clive Burr from Iron Maiden, and Dave Holland from Judas Priest. The next booth over, Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy, Pete Way and Paul Chapman from UFO, Jimmy Bain from Rainbow and Dio, Bon Scott and Malcolm Young from AC/DC. Now, there's booths that are in the middle, got a couple groups of people. First booth, Ray Gillen from Black Sabbath and Badlands, Robin Crosby from Rat, Mick Zane from Malice, Lauren Black from Great White, Willie Bass from Black Sheep, and Dave Brown from Sound Barrier. And the booth that's closest to the fireplace, we got a great group of people, three people especially, Kevin DeBro and Frankie Bonelli from Quiet Riot, seated next to Lizzie Gray from London. Wow, so that's the dining area. Now, on the other side of the fireplace, there's the bar area, and there's a great group of people that are assembled waiting for Bob. Dave Pritchard from Armored Saint, Danny Anaya, drummer from Abattoir, Rick Merrick, drummer from Heretic, Robbie Settles, drummer from Bitch, Gina Zamparelli, the great concert promoter, Alex Nelson, and Tony Machuzak, guitarist from Lizzie Borden. Second group of people, Engo from Halloween, drummer from Halloween, Chris Oliva, guitarist of Sabotage. Steve Grimmett, the singer of Grim Reaper. And Mike Howe and David Wayne from Metal Church. We got two guys assembled at the far end of the bar. That's Cliff Burton and Timmy Henson from Merciful Fate. They're talking Metallica and Merciful Fate and bass. They're off doing their thing. The bartender of all people is Ronnie James Dio. Ronnie says to Bob, whatever you want, it's open bar, I'll pour it for you. We just want you to enjoy yourself. Bob catches a glimpse of somebody is carrying glasses back to the back. He's the bar back. He catches a glimpse. It's John Lord. John Lord is the bar back at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. So Bob's just blown away with all these people. He's curious. He goes upstairs. First person he sees up there in the DJ booth is Ton Mastery from the great radio station KNAC, radio personality Ton Mastery. She's spinning all the songs Bob wants to hear. Now, there's a dance floor and there's a house band that's set up. The house band consists of Dan McCaffrey and Manny Charlton from Nazareth and the Sweet Guys. So they're a super group assembled. They're going to play all the Sweet songs. They're going to do Desolation Boulevard, Give Me a Wink, Expect No Mercy, Hair of the Dog, anything that Bob wants to hear, it's his request. He can pick all the songs and they'll play it for him. Now, at the tippy top of the Rainbow, there's kind of a special section. There's two people waiting up there. They want to make sure that everything goes smoothly for Bob, that the party's going off perfectly. And it is. We got David Bowie and Freddie Mercury of Queen. Now, Bob's wondering, God, I've seen all these people. Where is Lemmy? Well, let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to Lemmy in a moment. So just as much as Bob loved to hang out, he loved to see great shows. And there's some great venues. So the first venue that Bob goes to is the Roxy, right next door to the Rainbow. And great band is assembled just for Bob. We got Leonard Hayes, Joey Alves, Phil Kennemore from Y&T, Guy Speranza, and Mark Reel from Riot. We got some special guests that have rolled in. Rhett Forrester from Riot comes down. Gary Driscoll and Craig Gruber from Rainbow and Elf. And they're going to do an encore. Now, Ronnie James Dio hears his bandmates are playing. He runs on over from the Rainbow, jumps on stage, and they do an encore of Man on the Silver Mountain, because Bob is the man tonight. He is the man on the Silver Mountain. So Bob wanders out of the Roxy, goes to the next venue, and that's the Viper Room. And we've got a great band assembled for him there too. We got Paul Bailoff from Exodus, Jeff Hanneman from Slayer, Piggy from Voivod, Pete Steele from Carnivore and Typo Negative, and Vinny and Dine from Pantera. They're the band. They're going to run through their catalog of hits. Bob gets to pick the set list for that too. Some special guests roll in. We got a couple people that have rolled in. First person, Eric Wagner from Trouble. The next person is Martin Eric from Celtic Frost. And Mike Siskea from Rigor Mortis and Ministry. And Armando Acosta, drummer for St. Vitus. So they do a set of thrash and doom and just it's an amazing set. Amazing set. And Bob's picking out songs that they did. Fantastic. Bob is like, how can this get any better? So Bob goes to the next venue, and that's the Whiskey A Go-Go. He walks up, sees on the marquee, Motorhead. Wow. So Bob goes in there. He sees Lemmy, Phil Taylor, and Vassity Clark. They're on stage. Lemmy comes up to the mic. Bob, we've been waiting for you. We're going to do a classic set of Motorhead just for you. So they rip through all classic Motorhead just for Bob. And Bob is amazed. Well, there's some special guests that have shown up. We've got Kelly Johnson from Girl School, Paul Sampson and Nikki Moore from Samson, Stephen Clark from Def Leppard, Burke Shelley from Budgie, and Wurzel shows up. So these guys, they come and play a special new wave of British heavy metal set just for Bob. And Bob's able to pick out those songs in the set list. All requests, all by Bob. Wow, amazing. So another special guest shows up, a very, very special guest shows up. She hops on stage. It's Wendy O. Williams of the Plasmatics. So, and Motorhead is a backing band. So they rip through all Plasmatic songs and all Motorhead songs, and that's the encore. So that's Bob's wish. He wanted to see all these great people once he got into heaven, and he saw them all. Amazing, amazing, quite an amazing night. First day in heaven. And you know, when he got to heaven, his friends and his family members were there with him, and they were coming along with him, enjoying these great times that Bob was experiencing up in heaven. And that's the way Bob was in real life. He took you along wherever you wanted to go. There's a motorcycle out there. Yep, that's Bob riding out there. Wherever you wanted to go, that's where Bob took you. So he took you along for the ride, and that's just the way Bob was in real life. And he's here in spirit, and all the people I mentioned, they're here with us in spirit, because that's how it works. So just want to thank Bob for his friendship with all of us, and just being a great person and a unique person. So rest in peace, Bob Nalbandian, and take care.